Did you know that anxiety is the most reported mental health issue that adults have in America? Over 42 million experience anxiety on a regular basis. My LGBTQ community have 37% identify as having anxiety. My black and brown folks, you guys are around 20%. Mental health is a real thing, and we are going to talk about things that you can do, tools to thrive. So what's up, beautiful people? How are you? What's going on? I am Wendy, and you are tuning in to another weekly wellness video here in the beautiful place of Holistic and Well, my channel on YouTube, where we cultivate and nurture better health through herbalism, intentional wellness, and self-healing. So we are talking mental health, which I do all the time anyway, but May is one of those awareness months that mental health is a part of. So I thought we could go over some of the statistics and information that is provided that maybe would be of interest to you. So let's get busy. So Mental Health America, which is a really awesome website, I will put it in the description box for you to go do some clicking and some investigating on your own. But they are a nonprofit that is very, very active in the community with mental health issues. So they are running a campaign this year, and the slogan is Tools to Thrive. So I thought I would share some of the information that I found on their website that I really couldn't duplicate and come up with anything different, and it was so good that I thought I would just kind of give you the highlights of what I utilize and what I think is important. So the first concept to think about is to own your feelings. And you guys have heard me say this before, and I have created an acronym, CALM, C-A-L-M. So C is going to be call your feelings what they are. If you're scared, I'm scared. If you're nervous, I'm nervous. If you are overwhelmed, you're overwhelmed. Call it what it is. And then just allow those feelings to go through you. Don't push them down. Don't ignore them. Don't distract yourself. Just allow them to go through you. And then my favorite part of the acronym is L. Let that shit go. Just let them go, because you can't sit on them and harbor them, and that's going to change anything. And then the M is going to be make a choice, make an intentional choice to keep it moving, calm. I utilize it all the time on a day-to-day basis for myself. I hope that the acronym will help you as well. Moving forward, the next concept is to find the positive in things. And I talk about this all the time as well. I think I refer to it as reframing. I've also talked about gratitude, and all those things are synonyms and mean the same thing, but here's some bullet points under that. Do the reframing. If you have something negative that happens to you, try to reframe it into something that could be looked at as positive. Example. If you're on the highway and you get a flat tire, your tire blows out and you're able to get along to the side of the curb and you're able to get parked and you're safe and nothing has happened, you know what? It sucks that you have a flat tire. But when you reframe it, you think about all of the negative things that could happen that didn't happen. For instance, if you're on the highway and you have a blowout, that is a really good place for a perfect storm for an accident to happen. But if you were able to maneuver and get through to the side of the road, to the side of the highway, that's positive. It doesn't change the fact that you have a flat tire. Look at the positives rather than focusing on the negatives. Gratitude. I think I've probably just said this so many times. Create a gratitude practice that you utilize on not even a day-by-day, but a minute-by-minute basis. I will put a link so that you can go check out past videos on that if you want more information. And also with the positive is being able to be open to receive new stuff in your life. Sometimes we get so comfortable, even if it's painful comfort, or even if it's toxic comfort, we can get so comfortable in things that are routine that we close ourselves off from new things. So be open to new experiences, be open to new people, be open to new emotions and evolution. It really helps to build and cultivate the positivity in your world. All right, next concept, no toxic BS in your life. People, relationships, jobs, experiences, whatever. You know, one of the things that I have developed in my world is if my relationships were, regardless of the type of relationship it is, if it's not reciprocal and where there is a give and take between both of us, and we're both gaining something from the relationship, whether it's a laughter, whether it is time, whether it is support, whatever the gain might be, I cut that shit out real quick, fast, and in a hurry, because I ain't got time for it. There's other stuff going on, and so I need reciprocal relationships, because that is what cultivates and helps to build me up. And that kind of speaks to the whole concept of equal energy, which is the next bullet point, is that if there's not an equal energy going between us, and that means, you know, sometimes I might be at 40, you might be at 60, sometimes you might be at 70 and I'm at 30, whatever's going on, life happens. Energy's not always going to be equal, but it has to average out to be equal, or again, I can't deal with it. If you're hanging around folks that are judgmental, negative Nancys, negative Nellies, negative Nelsons, negative whoever, let that shit go. Let those folks get out of your world if they're selfish and it's all about what they need and feeling and getting their needs met. That's toxicity. Let it go. It does not serve you well. All right, healthy routines is our next concept. Building and establishing and maintaining healthy routines is so important. We like routine. That doesn't mean every minute of the day has to be predictable, but our brains like routine. And when we have routine, we know what to expect. We know what's coming. And that alleviates the mystery. That alleviates the fear of what could be, the what if, the shoulda, coulda, wouldas. Have you guys been drinking water? Have you guys tuned into Gangsta Goodies Kitchen? I've been giving some COVID self-care tips of the week. Check her out, Gangsta Goodies Kitchen, Miss Johnson. So, one of the bullet points under healthy routines is you can't change everything at once. I'm sure you've heard the term, Rome was not built in a day. So that means you do one change at a time. Whether it's you are intentionally going to bed at the same time, you are intentionally getting up and doing yoga, you are intentionally cutting out sugar. Make one change at a time and do not overload yourself with trying to incorporate a whole bunch of new stuff to develop these new routines at one time. You will get frustrated, you will feel overwhelmed, and you will say, screw it. Ask me how I know that. Plan, 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 plan. You know, I am a type A personality, so planning is just, you know, inherently in my blood, in my brain, in whatever. But in order to be successful, in order to feel healthy, in order to feel positive, we have to plan for that stuff to happen. It just doesn't magically come together. Sometimes there's a little twinkle dust of fairy dust in there, but for the most part, you're planning that stuff out and it's coming to fruition, which means that you're putting that energy into it. So plan those routines out. Plan a morning routine, plan an afternoon routine. Put stuff on paper, on your calendar, and plan it out. And then once you have been successful in meeting those little goals that you've set for yourself, reward yourself. Give yourself something to look forward to so that you have an incentive to keep it moving. And this is huge. If for whatever reason you feel that you're not successful, or you haven't been consistent, or you're struggling, do not beat yourself up. Do not beat yourself up. Be as kind to yourself as you would be to someone else if you were talking to them about what's going on in their world. Be compassionate and kind to yourself. All right, next concept, supporting other people. This means cultivating relationships, but within those relationships there can be no judging. Just like we're cutting out toxic people that could be judgmental towards us, guess what? We have to be aware if we're being judgmental towards other people. And let me tell you, sometimes that is hard because, let's face it, sometimes people are just, out there. But don't compare and contrast. It's easy with social media to get caught up in the, well, I see they're doing this, but I'm doing this, and I don't get the same reaction, or there's this many likes, or it's that many views, or whatever. Do not compare and contrast. Do not try to keep up with the Joneses. Just keep up with you. Trust and believe. You are a big enough job. You don't have to be looking at what the Joneses are doing or what Becky or Susie is doing on social media. Just keep up with yourself. You know what? And this is huge for me. Keep your word. If you say you're going to do something, do it. Do not say you're going to do something and then don't do it. That is such a disappointment for people. It's so hurtful. It can feel like rejection. And if someone is already struggling with anxiety or mental health issues, they do not need to have that added stuff added to their bag. All right, and the last concept, connecting with others. Now, pre-COVID, it would look different than what I'm about to talk about now, because pre-COVID we could have the social gatherings, and we could go out and do the happy hours and the birthday parties and the weddings. And now our social connectivity has kind of been put on pause, but we still can do it. And I love that many people right now are finding creative ways to stay connected, and that is so important. One of the biggest things that has helped me get through these last couple of months, wow, has it been a couple of months? Yes, mid-March to mid-May, it has been a couple of months, is that I have a circle of girlfriends, my tribe, my people, my vibe, whatever you want to call yours, that's mine, is that we have stayed in touch every single day through a video app. Every day we are checking in with each other. And if one of us is not checked in, we are reaching out. What's up? What's going on? Where are you? How are you feeling? And let me tell you, it has been helpful, I think, for all of us. I think we've all had days that we've struggled, and having that circle of people that it is a safe place to vent, a safe place to cry, a safe place to laugh, a safe place to just be who you are was super, super helpful. And let me tell you, that's not something we did on a daily basis before the madness kicked in March. Hey, look, I made it funny. March Madness kicked in. Anyway, so it's important to support and cultivate those relationships. Now, one way that you can do that is to give authentic compliments, an authentic conversation. It's so important to be 100% who you are. And the only way that we're able to do that is if we are in a relationship or a situation that we feel safe enough to do that and be that person. Be creative. I think that we've seen that with Zoom and people doing car parades. And I was watching a story on the news of where they're talking about doing graduation at the drive-in and putting the graduating seniors' pictures on the big screen. And it's like, we have had to be creative so that we could continue life, because even though this is happening, we can't just pause everything. Organized activities, I kind of spoke to that. Make time and nurture your relationships, because if you do not nurture them, so last but not least is to nurture your relationships. Make sure that you are giving them the time and the energy and the positivity, and put a big hug around your relationships, because those will be the things and the people that carry you through during those times that you're really struggling. I know that from personal experience, and I have been told that from many, many people, is that their support system, their people, their family, their relationships is what carried them through. All right. So that's it. I hope you like this video. I hope you like this content. Remember, every day, every month, every year is mental health awareness. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. All right, so give me some subscribe action, give me some like action, put some comments below. What do you want to hear about? What are you doing to take care of yourself? What are you doing for your mental health? Until next time, you stay holistic and well. See you soon. Bye.